Yep, we're live. So I'm doing a quick debate challenge. I know if I come out of this, it'll mess around. But yeah, quick debate challenge. So anybody who wants to come up and discuss, I'll place the link within the chat so you can come up and have a brief discourse with me. I'm not going to be able to do a long discourse, but a brief discourse should be fine. So here's the link. Yeah, uh, my battery's really low. I'm trying to keep it high. So yeah, unfortunately, it will just be the audio for now, but the link is in the chat if you want to come up and have a genuine discussion. I'm not going to say Muslims only or JWs only. I'll give the floor to anybody who really wants to discuss things. Um, but I really want to keep it to as minimal as an hour tops, because I've got stuff to do. So yeah, come along, come along. Um, yeah, I was watching. Actually, I was on TikTok again, perusing it, and there's somebody who is unfortunately an ecumenist who is trying to make a poor argument that in the normal sense we can call any individual who agrees with the gospel a Christian. And I just think, well, then why affirm any form of doctrine to begin with? When people say, to me, Roman Catholics, Eastern Orthodox, Protestants, these are all Christians, I'm like, well, what criteria are you using to determine that this is a case? Because if you say the scriptures, then I can infer that the scriptures also say that you must keep sound doctrine in other areas, and the gospel is primary. So then what standard are you appealing to say Eastern Orthodox Roman Catholics, anybody's a Christian? Um, you know, if our standard is not going to be sound doctrine, then what standard is it going to be? Probably will just turn on the camera. Probably just will just turn on the camera. Actually, you know, trying to go gym in a bit. So yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing. But yeah, come on, man. And see, the thing is, when I challenge people to debate, they refuse to come up. They would rather stay in the comments, hide there, and make noises. You know, one thing that I would suggest people do, and sorry, my hair is an absolute mess. But one thing I suggest people do is if they're going to jump up on this live, right, it's going to be that your camera shows. I don't want to see. I don't want no nonsense from people coming up and chatting crap and their camera ain't showing. It ain't making no sense to me. So yeah, I think I should tie my hair back. My hair is like long. This is what happens when I leave the hair long. You get me? It just so happens it ends up like that. I only did a stream that was 2 hours, man. So, but I'm just waiting for somebody to come up. Let's go. StreamYard link is in there. Um, all of a sudden, people go cold turkey when you do these lives. People got a lot to say when I do these lives. All of a sudden, people go cold turkey. Um, okay, so we'll start off with an easy one. Prove to me Jesus and God. Uh, win a cream cake. Let's go. Okay, let's utilize this. Let's go. You can win a cream cake if you prove to me Jesus Christ isn't God. We're gonna start with that, but anybody who really wants to come up is able to. Provided you're going to be cordial, no nonsense. Um, yeah, let's just have a conversation. I'll be waiting here. And let's see who wants to have a conversation. Um, let's see now. Unfortunately, my chat is not showing up. I don't know why. Comments. There we go. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you know, I want to really stress that the argumentation going to be levied by ecumenists is going to be a big presupposition of how we discern and have knowledge of the text of the Bible. Also, it becomes from a really, petty, emotive argument. Oh, why would an evil God do that? God is not evil for being selective. You know, He's given us the grounds in which we may seek Him. And the way to seek Jesus Christ is not hard. You know, the question is, do people want to affirm what He has to say, or do they want to deny what He has to say? And so the ecumenists have a problem. Like the problem is they become sectarian by their own notion to many other different institutions. But the problem is they can't see their own hypocrisy. You know. By the way, links in the chat. You know. I'm seeing people come in, but nobody wants to jump up, and this shows me really where it's at. I mean, when I go to down speakers corner, I hear people that are just cowardly. They don't want to have a discussion. You know. They want me to go and clamber on their live streams. You know, but they don't want to come here. I'm like, what's that? What's that for? You know, what's the excuse for this? So yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. By the way, I've got sectarian on here, because that's who I am. We got to embrace the sectarian, man. That's literally biblical. You know, embrace the titles they give you, man. Because ultimately, it all leads back to Christ anyway. If me glorifying Christ makes me a sectarian, then so be it. And I'm glad for that. So I've got the actual name here. So I'm waiting for Bob Wyatt. If you involve yourself with Bob, if you are an adherent of Bob, a follower of Bob or Focal Films, come up, let's have a conversation. If you're a Muslim and you believe that Allah is God, come up, let's have a conversation. If you're a Roman Catholic and you affirm Roman Catholic theology, come up, let's have a conversation. If you're an Eastern Orthodox and bow down to statues and icons, come up, let's have a conversation. I know TFG had a wild stuff to say. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's have this conversation. The invite is literally in the chat there, so you can. Nobody has any excuse at this moment as well. Man, this hair is long. You know, nobody has an excuse, so that they are without excuse. That's what the Book of Romans says. They are without excuse. You know, I don't want to hear, oh, you know what I mean, like this, that, and that in the comments. Like, I've unblocked everybody, by the way. We've unblocked everybody. There are a few people I've had to hide again because all they've been doing is memeing. But we've unblocked everybody for the simple thing of, you know what, let these people have freedom of speech. But if they come up and they want to be rude and they want to be childish, we'll block them, we'll mute them, kick them out of our lives, man. You know. If you're gonna be respectful, and when I mean respectful, doesn't mean you don't have to disagree. I want you to disagree. But also you can be respectful. On a calm thing. Just have a calm conversation. It's not a deep thing. You know. I know this is pretty much like a line then. I was trying to jump off on the guy's life. He was calling himself the Reconstructionist, which is absolutely redundant. But I mean, yeah, nothing Reconstructionist. Seriously, nothing orthodox about that at all. And he tries to quote Athanasius out. Sorry, no, it weren't. It was Augustine out of context. As if Augustine's making the claim that we shouldn't ever affirm sound doctrine. No one thing I'd ask the Reconstructionists, other than obviously, Galatians 1:8-9, where it says, if anybody has another gospel, let them be accursed. What does he mean by that? The one thing I'd ask him is, so you want to quote the early church fathers, do you believe that Docetists are Christians? Do you believe that the Marcionites were Christians? By your standard, that anybody who affirms Trinitarian theology is a Christian, do you believe that people who are schismatic openly are Christians? The Apollinarians, even the Judaizers of the time of Jesus Christ himself, would have accepted the Trinitarian formula and yet denied the gospel of saving grace. So what does that mean? My hair is too long, bro. Come on, jump up. Let's go. Let's go. We haven't got all day. This is a bait challenge to anybody. Muslims, Jehovah's Witnesses, Roman Catholic. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. I'm coming for you all. The Arab Gamer, yes, this is live. Jump up, man. The link is in the chat. I think I could pin this. I can star it here. I don't know how that goes for pinning. But yeah, it's live. Jump up. Let's have a conversation. Why are you? If you're a Muslim, why are you Muslim? If you're an atheist, if you don't believe in any concept of God or a God, why? Let's have a conversation about that. If you are a Roman Catholic and you affirm idolatry and prayer to saints, let's have a go. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, this is live. Of course, Jawad, Eastern Orthodoxy is demonic and evil. And I've exposed it many, many, many times. Like, it's just retarded. It's not, it's not in any way linked to the early church. The only real links it has is liturgical practices, but even then, so what? In terms of the practices of praying to saints and worshiping and bowing down to images, honestly, evil and demonic. But Jawad, are you a Muslim? Are you a Christian? What are you, man? Jawad or Jawad? Yeah. Anybody, feel free to come up. Look, I'm all about all the smoke. Whether you're Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholic, whether you are Muslim, and that's the one thing that none of these groups can accuse me of. Although some of them do, they say, "Oh, why are you only attacking me? Why are you?" They all say that out of just basically cowardice. I'm not attacking one group. I've got all the smoke of each individual institution, whether it be Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Sunni, Shia, you know, what I mean, kind of feel like, you know what I mean? I don't care. Jump up, man. Let's go. Let's have a conversation. Uh, you know, so just wait, just wait. Um, you know, because there's a lot of people on this smoke. Let me tell you right now. When we before we first closed the channel, because we didn't really close it, we just hid it for a while. When we first hid it, there was so much Roman Catholics in the comments and just average what's his name followers. You know what? If you're Muslim, let's talk about Muhammad. Let's talk about the Quran. Let's talk about those stuff right there. What the Quran says, for example, in Surah 7, verses 1 to 57, that Muhammad can be found in the Torah and the Gospel. Let's talk about that. I don't. You might have to copy the link. I don't know why it's saying you can't join, because you might have to copy the link. What you can do is copy and paste the link. I don't know why this is doing this. If Jonelle was here, I would give her the link. But yeah, I could post the link again. I don't actually know why this is doing this. I could try posting the link for YouTube. Hopefully, it won't cut out 1 minute. Oh, so I've even posted it through YouTube and it's still not working. Okay, so I mean, one thing you could do is copy it. So let's talk about Jesus. There's Christians that don't follow him but say they're Christian. That's the opposite. So LW Truth. The reason why I probably won't speak to you because it's not going to be cordial. I mean, you can jump up, but all you're just going to be doing is insulting. So what's the point? Telling me about how Christian I am is irrelevant. You have to show that from the Bible. Also, you are not a member of my church. You are, by all accounts, a Unitarian. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, LW Truth. I don't know what you're on, but yeah, I think the last time we've attempted to discourse, you've become very rude and repugnant. I'm here just to have conversations about different topics. I don't speak to the same people again. But I'll briefly respond to this. So it says, let's talk about Jesus, how there's Christians that don't follow him. Instead of Christian, that the opposite. Does that mean that they should become Muslim? Well, I mean, we shouldn't be trying to influence anybody who we dislike to become Muslim. That is retarded. But I mean, just because you disagree with somebody's position, that doesn't necessarily make them a Muslim or even a Christian. But there are Christians that disagree. And here's where, of course, that this ecumenist idea comes out. I mean, ecumenical in the sense that, totally, I agree. There are Christians within the church who believe in the same things I do, but maybe they'll disagree about things that are not fundamental. For example, baby baptism, or this person's perception of Jesus Christ versus this one. I think the orthodox doctrines, though, I don't think we would agree, and therein is the difference. Also, every Christian is being sanctified. The Bible clearly says that we are sealed and sanctified by the Holy Spirit, Ephesians 1:13. So this is a process of sanctification, in which we become more and more like Christ. I put the link in the chat. Nobody's coming up. Nobody wants to come up. I mean, it just makes sense. It makes sense stuff here. It doesn't. But the only Bible people see is you. Therefore, you're not a prime example of Christian. I mean, like you're telling me what I'm a prime example of. The only example of a Christian is Christ. That is it. And all to be truth, I don't even think you're anywhere near that. For example, all you've done is slander, judge, ridicule. Uh, you know. But then you've also said that we should influence people to become Muslims instead of educating them. Instructing. The Bible teaches us to encourage in all love and kindness, but also it tells us to be firm. The Bible speaks in a way of us understanding God and realizing and rationalizing between positions. Think we're like, yeah.
My bad. Okay, so I'm literally just versus myself. Okay, then. Let me just remove from stage. I don't know what that is. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so yeah, the Bible will teach a ton of things, but if you don't affirm it yourself, it doesn't make sense to really ridicule it. But this is not a debate we can have because unfortunately you are not intellectually viable enough to have this debate. In regards to orthopraxy versus orthodoxy, how are we supposed to treat others in the body of Christ? Well, if I have somebody like LW Truth disagreeing with me and yet making lewd and rude statements, how am I supposed to treat them other than what the Bible says? And in fact, the Bible tells us in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, if you have a problem with your brother, go to take it to witnesses, go to the church, and if not, then treat them as a tax collector and a sinner. Now, I don't know what church you go to. You said LW Truth. I think it was you who said that you have got your own church. I don't have any evidence to claim that or to disprove that, nor do I care. All I know is that I'm not a part of your church, your local church institution, nor do I want to be. If that hurts you, so be it. Okay, so we got a guest. Okay. So Arab Gamer, I'm gonna need you to show your face because there's obviously a load of people who will just make up noise and stuff like that. You know how it is. You know how it is. So can you show your face? Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, Arab Gamer, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Okay, how you doing?
Brother? Can you
Hello?
hear me?
Yeah, it's gone through out of my. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you slightly. I don't know why it's not playing through my headphones, but that's fine. Yeah, go on. So, are you Muslim? Or are you atheist? What are you, man?
keep going off and coming back in.
It keeps going off and coming back in.
Yeah, you keep disappearing and coming back again. But now it's good.
Oh, it's good. It's good now. So, what? Can you hear me? So, are you atheist, Muslim? What are you?
Brother, I don't want to. If you want to just debate about religion, I don't want to debate the religion. I just have some questions for you.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're pertaining to religion, then that's fine because that's what the stream's about.
I understand that, but they're not about religion. I enjoy watching Speaker's Corner from a long time ago, and you've been a character in Speaker's Corner. I've been following you and following everybody at Speaker's Corner, and I really enjoy the debates. Whether which side I'm on, it doesn't matter. I see debates as a sport.
Right.
So I haven't been seeing you. It cut off again. Did you hear me?
Right. It's cut off again. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. If you can just wait here, I'm gonna have to cut out 1 minute.
Alrighty.